would like to extend a welcome to any visitors or guests that are here this weekend traveling for Thanksgiving. I hope that your time with your family was restful and fruitful, and that you will be able to return home in safety. You're always welcome to come here anytime. For those of you who are standing in the back, there are still seats. They are on that side of the church. There's also a little bit hiding in here. Just go up to somebody and be bold and say, "May I please have a seat?" And hopefully they will be nice and let you in. And if not, go tell me, because it's Advent, and Christmas is coming, and what is it? Somebody is watching. So, speaking of Christmas and Thanksgiving and Black Friday, what did St. Paul say today? Make no provision for the desires of the flesh. That doesn't really work very well for us, does it? I have a confession to make, and that's that I ate too much over Thanksgiving. I think all of us could do that. I'm going to hear it in confession this whole week, right? Gluttony, I ate, I took too many naps, I bought too much stuff. Because it wasn't really on sale, what they did is my mom was saying that she went to some place where she was convinced that they raised the price, the base price, and then put it on sale. So it was the same price as it was before. The things of the flesh really don't satisfy, do they? Yes, make no provision for the desires of the flesh. In this time in which our culture is preparing for buying things and frantically celebrating parties and running about, the Lord invites us to do the opposite, to stop and to place our eyes on our heavenly inheritance, the mountain of the Lord. All nations shall stream towards it, and many people will say, "Come, let us climb the mountain of the Lord. Let us listen to his words." And we didn't make as big a deal about it this year, but you can see we've got the Advent wreath, right? It's kind of symbolizing a journey. We put it on the baptismal font, I guess so that it's big, because everything's bigger in Texas. But you can see we've got one candle lit, right? And it's eventually going to light all four of them. We're going to go around the wreath, and the light of Christ will become closer. That light comes from the mountain of the Lord. And here in the church, well, it looks like a mountain a little bit, right? You have to climb up steps, although for those of you who are in wheelchairs, you know that there's a little slope downwards before you can climb up. And I guess that's how life works. Before you can get on top of the mountain, you have to go through a valley. But here at the mountain of the Lord, right, we're receiving from the knowledge of the Lord and from his grace in the sacraments, anticipating our heavenly inheritance. All of us are destined for heaven. All of us are destined to live with the Lord. He is the only one who can satisfy our every longing. The desires of the flesh will ultimately leave us lacking and wanting. And, I was joking about food, and it's not just food, right? We talked about, St. Paul said lust and envy and rivalry and jealousy, power control, whatever it is, right? All of these things distract us from finding the way to the mountain of the Lord, where there is light, joy, and peace. All of these distract us from our baptismal calling to holiness. The Lord wants us to live in light, joy, and peace, to be with him forever. So, how are we going to live this out this Advent as we're preparing for Christmas? Well, if you're like me and you're a Scrooge, you haven't put up your Christmas decorations yet, but I only know that's probably like this much of us, and the rest of us have been decorated for like 2 months, right? If you've gone to like Macy's or to the stores, they were selling Christmas stuff in July, and And it's not just for Christmas in July because they kept it going, right? And, by the time we get to Christmas, we'll all be tired of it. But that's not really what I want to call attention to. Waiting and fasting. Waiting, resting, staying in one place, prolonging our time, especially here in front of the mountain of the Lord. The Lord invites us to stop, to take our time in prayer, and to give our time to our family and friends, to listen. A challenge for us here in the church maybe would be to try to arrive a few minutes earlier than we normally do, and to focus our hearts on prayer, or to stay a few minutes after Mass. Maybe for some of us the challenge might be to stay till the end of Mass. There's a Mass exodus, I see it every week, right? And I know with kids it can be hard, right? It's hard to get them to stay still for even just 1 minute, let alone 5 minutes, right? And so we'll try to do what we can. But what if we were able to pause, and maybe we could tell our kids, hey, look at this pretty picture in the window for 1 minute, right? See if you can point out all the things that are in it. Taking time after receiving Holy Communion to kneel down and to give thanks to God and to receive the blessing from the priest, right? And then afterwards, to take some time and to just be with the Lord. Waiting. And of course, fasting. In a time of indulgence, well, what does fasting do? It helps us to temper the desires of the flesh. Fasting can take on a number of things. Fasting from food, of course, but maybe fasting from technology. Putting the phone down or turning off the TV and actually spending time to wait with my family and friends. Those could be some ways in which we fast. Interestingly enough, you're technically still supposed to abstain from meat on Fridays or do some other penance. The way that was communicated made it sound like we just got rid of the Friday penance, but it technically wasn't, and so everybody's kind of confused. Maybe this Advent is a good time to pick up a Friday penance, some of the things that I mentioned, right? Because by tempering our desires, we're able to see that the Lord is providing for us. Another way of tempering our desires, maybe for the kids, do I share my toys? Or do I hog them only for myself? And, or do I play with my toy that I got for Christmas for only 5 minutes and then throw it away and just it goes into a closet, right? Fasting means that we have to give up something to temper our desires and to see that the Lord is providing for us. So in this season of watching and waiting, where the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night, the signs are already there. So he invites us to stop, to fast, to be prepared with our lamps lit, awaiting the bridegroom of our souls, who is calling us to an eternal destiny. And we pray that especially in this Eucharist, the Lord will enlighten us so that we may live with him.